Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Hey, it's just the three of us.
What? Just the three of us.
We can make it if we try.
He changed the key. Sheila, did you hear that?
I got a pocket full of keys.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. I got a pocket full of keys and I got a jingle, jingle, jingle. I don't think that's the song
That's
either.
not the song.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We were getting ready. I was putting on my makeup and Jason goes, "It's time. It's time." And we came rushing through the house and here we are.
I ran so fast that I've got a little flyaway right here somewhere.
There's a song there. And I had it just for a little moment and then it flew away. Just like your little hair. I'm gonna scoot over so that I'm not pushing you out of the picture. We
Here
wouldn't want that.
Full focus.
Please say hello. We want to connect with you. Deanne, Christine, good morning. Sheila's here. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. David, Mindy gets to join us instead of on replay. All right. We're talking about self-imposed limitations.
Oh, aren't they so fun?
I would have sworn that I was that person that's like, I'm fearless. I can do anything.
Unstoppable.
Right? I had no idea that I was the person that was stopping myself. In fact, I went through a whole decade where I was like, they are holding me down. Why are they?
Limitation.
Yes, they are not only putting a ceiling on my head, they're putting me in this glass cage.
In a box.
They are. Everyone is putting me in a...
pigeonholed.
Yes.
They've pigeonholed me.
They, everyone, them, the world, society, ooh, labels. And I've realized as of this self-discovery journey that Jana often does it to herself.
Well, a lot of times we don't recognize where we have these self-imposed limitations without someone pointing them out.
So let me just tell you where mine are, and then maybe y'all can relate. For me, it's disappointment. It's the fear of disappointment. And sometimes I get so close to breaking through on a project or reaching success, almost like I can touch and feel the energy of something big starting to come my way. And then I pull back like, oh, I don't know. Because, and here's why, I'm almost afraid that if I put it all out there, I'm going to be disappointed in God. And I know that's so crazy because how can you be disappointed in God? But I feel like, I've had all of these conversations with God about, okay, you know what, I'll show up. You do your part and I'll do mine. And together, you know what, we can impact the world. We can do this.
All things.
Yeah, like we have all these little pep talks in the pantry. Jason's like, what are you doing in there?
Is she talking to the Campbell's soup again?
Why are you talking to the peas? I'm like, you just stay in there and I'll talk to the Jolly Green Giant. That's what I'm doing. Literally, the Jolly Green Giant is God. I go in the pantry and I pray. That's my war room. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie War Room, where I think that's where I got that idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't even consciously do it. It started happening unconsciously.
Organically.
Yeah, like I watched that movie several years ago. In fact, I bought the movie. I watched it a few times because I loved it. I love the fact where when the couple started fighting, and instead of fighting against each other, the one spouse said, you know what, I'm going to start praying for my spouse. And then started going into a room dedicated in the house for prayers. And then, like, whenever prayers would come true, they would put them on the wall, like, oh, this prayer came true. And then you start seeing the miracles
evidence
that are actually happening around you. And what's so great about that is it actually, let's just mix in a little psychology with this. When you start seeing the prayers that are being answered, it activates your reticular activating system. And once you start looking for the positive and you start seeing evidence of the positive affirmations and you start seeing success roll in this direction, then you start looking for more
and it's a momentum
positive.
builder.
And you literally spin that downward loop to go this way.
You stop stacking the it may not happens to knowing that it's going to happen, because you see the evidence of this is what I prayed for, this is what I worked for, I achieved it, or it happened, and when you expect it, and that's a different type of belief. When you know it's coming, you may not know when or how, but you know it's going to be there. You know you're moving into that. It's a whole different feeling.
Yes. Okay, so put in Deanne says, my aunt has a prayer closet. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone on this. I know it sounds crazy, but now that I'm talking about this, it literally started happening after I watched that movie. I've started feeling, this may sound a little woo-woo, and excuse me if it does, but I started feeling the energy in the pantry. I started feeling the energy in the pantry, felt silent, it felt still, and it allowed me to shut out the outside world and really just sink into my gut.
It's like an old time phone booth.
Kind
like
of,
you just
yes.
you get to dial up God right there.
Kind of, yeah. You know, Ellen DeGeneres used to have that comedy bit where she would dial up God. And you're right. It's kind of like that. But now that I'm talking about it and saying it out loud, I'm realizing that I've actually now started putting, and I don't even know if I want to say this out loud because y'all are going to be like, Jana, maybe you should take this one down. But I've realized that I've started putting like, I have a little angel. I think it's the angel that Rita sent us. I have a little angel that I have stacked up there now behind my sugar.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then I have a little sign that Berta sent us that says the best is yet to come, so that I have stacked there in that little corner. And then that's like in front of the salt and the spaghetti.
All these are little triggers and they're reminders that yes, and. And I think it's perfect to have those. And in fact, I think you should have little Post-it notes to yourself or little affirmation type things all around your house.
Oh, I have those too. I have one of those little, those little calendars that you flip, and every day has a little different affirmation thing. My dad got me that. It's a calendar a day, or an affirmation a day.
And when you read those, when you go from room to room or when you see them, having the awareness of, okay, this is the truth that I have written, inscribed, and put out as signs to myself, the truth that I know. What are the thoughts that I'm having? Because we talk about the thought worms all the time, and you're going to have the thought worms, and those come from the self-limiting beliefs and self-limitations that we place on ourselves.
That's true.
And they also come from the outside world where we listen to the untruths because someone doesn't think, they don't want us to get hurt. That's one of the things, like that's where parents come in and they're like, don't do that, or you're not going to don't set your dreams so high as to be an astronaut. You're not that smart, or we're just not there yet. One of those things are don't plan on being an NFL player because you're short and squatty.
Or they just don't want us to get hurt. Like you said,
they don't want you to be disappointed.
It's their way of trying to help us. It's just we interpret it as
not enough.
They don't believe in us.
Yes.
they don't believe in us.
And
they
then,
don't think that we're good enough to make it.
That's just another small brick in the wall, to quote a Pink Floyd song, building those self-limiting ideas.
Yes, and so here's the turn, and I'm just going to leave it with this. For me, it's disappointment. And so because I don't want to have disappointment sometimes, so it's disappointment and doubt. Doubt can kick in. Doubt is my nemesis.
Well, the disappointment builds the doubt because you're like, I don't want to be disappointed. What if?
Yes.
What if?
Yes. So for me, I have to consciously say, instead of my expectations, I have very high expectations, and people are like, well, just lower your expectations. No, I'm not going to do that, because I truly believe you get in this world what you tolerate and what you expect. So I'm not going to lower my expectations, but I am going to turn my expectations into appreciation. So what I do receive, I'm just going to appreciate and be grateful for.
Absolutely.
And I think there is a distinction there. So, whatever comes my way, I am just grateful and I appreciate, and I'm going to just keep turning and looking at all the good that comes and keep building and stacking the good, like you said.
And recognizing that because we're high achievers and we have high expectations, when we get to the quote unquote end, we realize how much more there is. It's just like saying, I want to get to the horizon.
Yeah.
And you get to the horizon and then you see the horizon keeps going. There are no limits except for the ones we put on ourselves. So as you grow, just an artist, you could say, I want to have the perfect art piece. But when you get to the end and now you've grown so much as an artist, doing that piece, you realize how much more you can do.
Okay, so Anthony, very, very wise, says, you don't know disappointment if you don't try. Disappointment comes from not trying.
That's an even bigger disappointment. That just leads to a deep, dark regret.
And I would rather for me, it came to the point where there was this buildup inside me, and I just felt like I don't want to get to the end of my life and have that disappointment of regret. That, to me, is just the disappointment that I cannot live with. I think Wayne Dyer says, don't die with a song still in you or a poem still in you. I would rather get it out and at least express myself.
And even if you die in the middle of the song, you died singing.
Right?
So
which we all love to sing. Jason, we love to sing, right?
And that's the thing is, so take the disappointment off the results end and put the appreciation in the process.
Oh, so many aha moments. I'm going to have to rewatch this one.
Because then if you don't die singing, then you get to just sing a better song the next time. You get to keep improving the song.
Okay, what's a song about singing? Come on, anyone. What's a song about singing? I love to sing.
Sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of rye.
Okay, that was not.
That's the only thing I came up with.
And we love it. We love it, right? I'm going to appreciate it. I'm going to lower my expectations right now to appreciation. That is the lesson. And we've come full circle. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Whoo! Those limitations. Who is putting limitations on you? Could it be
you?
You.
Break down that wall and keep sparking it up, Lucky.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.